Go.
And then quit it. What?
What? Like both of us were like, wait, what?
Are we on? We're on?
Yep, we are.
We're on.
Let's do it.
Good time is it? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Tech Guy, Some Guy podcast. My name is Carlos, alongside with
Rod
and
Omar.
And we're just a bunch of guys where we talk tech news and pop culture with random rants in between. I'm just getting a chance to read the notes right now, so my bad. Rod, what do we got with us today? Oh, okay, cool.
This is what I said, pull it up beforehand.
I didn't get a chance. I was working. Man.
No, you was like, no, go. I'm talking about before I press record.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have it now. It's up. Okay. Oh wait, you know what? Let's go with the tech stuff because I know you got your hands on it. So what you think about it? The Galaxy S9 review. The Galaxy S9.
The review will be up. Actually, by the time this goes live, the review should be up, which will be on Friday or whatever.
We had the biometrics on, and it was like, "Who the hell are you?"
Pretty much.
Little bad boy. Is it worth it? Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah,
right,
there you go. Is it worth it? Is the big question.
Nice.
All right, so the number one thing a lot of people want to find out is the camera because they talk highly about it. The camera reimagined,
and
it's definitely a lot better than the S8.
But
in certain aspects, it does do better in low light than the Pixel.
Okay,
but it's no Pixel.
But that's it.
So the only thing it has is better ISO capabilities.
Well, the dual aperture beefs up it helps out. It really does help out in low light because that's what they claim it for. They're not saying dual aperture for everything. They're like, we put this feature just for low light.
Got it.
And I think they did that. And as far as like which one is better, the S8 or the Pixel, they're both really good. So it's not like one's up here, one's down here. So in certain situations, Pixel does better. In other situations, the S9 does better. But
if you had to choose, like right now, somebody said you can only pick one.
For me?
Yeah, because right now I think, if I remember right now for you, your top dog is the Pixel 2, right?
Yeah, well, it still would be the Pixel because the whole stock Android thing. Like I don't care about anyone's skins, anyone's experience because they're cool. I like Samsung. I'll give them that because it came a long way. Right. Used to be terrible. I like it, but I still always prefer stock Android. But
damn.
But for those of you who have an S7, definitely pick this up. If you got a S8.
So it's a good skip if you didn't get the last generation. So
yeah.
If you have the S7 or something from a couple years ago.
Yeah, because the battery's the same. The design is mostly the same. Except you got the speakers are actually really good because Dolby Atmos effect. Yeah. It's called effect. So
at least they were smart enough to.
But it does sound it sound tuned better than just regular speakers, whatever. So yeah.
Oh, how's it feel to you? Because it
feels nice.
Yeah,
looks good.
I mean, it's a nice slab of glass. So I'm like,
yeah, it's got the curved glass on both sides.
It is very. You could tell this is not a phone that you do not want to have without a case.
Yeah,
you know what's funny?
I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, I drop my iPhone 1,000 times a day probably, but I had that Tech 21 case, so I've never had to change the glass.
I gotta get a case for that ASAP.
Even when I take my phone out, the very few occasions I take it out of its case,
you gotta be very careful.
I'm careful, and it feels slippery, but not as slippery.
No,
as
the S8 and the S9 are slippery sons of bitches.
Yeah, I mean,
they
honestly,
feel it too.
Honestly, this is the first time I'm holding it. So the first time I held it was a couple minutes ago when I passed it down. It feels like I will drop the hell out of it. Right? It really does.
Like it's going to slip out of my hands more times than I wanted to.
And this is the thing. I case all my phones.
Case up, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I case all my phones. So I don't know if you guys are pro-case, anti-case.
I'm anti-case. I use a case because I don't have that kind of money to be buying a phone every time.
I'm the same way. Like
if I could have a phone that doesn't fall out of my hand, or if it did, it doesn't crack as easily, I would love it. That's why my old BlackBerry that I always go back to, I dropped that shit I don't know how many times. It still looks good. The screen always worked. The thumb, everything worked.
Blackberries were always tanks,
dude.
Though.
Them are Nokias, bro.
Them are Nokias,
yep.
We're about to go old school technology real quick. I know Rod remembers this. I don't know if Omar remembers this. Do you remember my BlackBerry?
I don't.
The one that I beat to death. I think it was a BlackBerry Curve.
Probably Curve 8900.
Remember that one?
Yes. I still have mine.
Mine's still
there. Does it work?
Maybe. I still have to charge it.
If you look at mine, you wonder how the hell is it still working.
Oh, you had keys missing too. You ran over it.
I had keys. There was one time I was working on an engine while the engine was on, right?
Yeah,
and it was in my pocket right here, and it fell into the engine bay, danced through the belts and all that, and then got spit out the bottom. And it was still working.
Still working. You're saying that?
I was like, oh, it's guys. Remember, by like a year in, it was like a million scratches all over the place and everything. It was horrible, but everything still worked.
Yep. But see, I had mine for over 4 years, literally over 4 years.
Dang.
And the only reason I got rid of it for a whole year, almost like 8 months, my Q button stopped working. But I was okay with that because I don't really Q that much.
Most
you know?
people, yeah.
And if I had to like type a question, I just put the question mark. People automatically knew what I was talking about.
Yep.
Then the A went, and now you can't live with the A. Not the A. So I was like, now I gotta get a phone. And that's how I did the Apple jump. But if it wasn't for that, I would have probably still held on to that bad boy.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Those things were tanks back in the day. Nowadays,
and they felt like if you would drop, you didn't feel bad. But these, like you drop these, you know you're gonna stand in that long ass Apple line and get your shit changed for like 2 hours if you can get a reservation. And then so.
I'm hearing that, and all I'm thinking is like, this is coming from the guy that actually. That's what you like. That
worked for him.
Yeah, you were pretty much an Apple fanboy for a while.
I mean, I love their products, but they haven't innovated enough. This is still the S6.
Don't mind me.
This is still the Apple S6, and I'm still fine with this phone. I mean, it has a headphone jack first of all, and I'm okay with that. So like, I don't know. They haven't given me a phone that I want to upgrade to, where like it's massively important for me to say, you know what, I need this phone. They haven't. I'm gonna stick with this one until that happens.
You know what? I'm gonna be like right now. That's how I am with my LG.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna ride it until this thing just don't function no more.
Yeah.
And right now it's how long has it been now? A year and a half?
That's the 6, right?
Yeah. About a year and a half, hasn't it?
Almost a year.
Almost a year?
Yeah.
Still works.
I mean, I was kind of digging that BlackBerry phone that you had with the keyboard. Yeah. I'm gonna see if another iteration of that comes out.
They have a version of it without it. I'm not sure if it's out yet. I think it is, but
I don't know if I want a version.
They're using Android as the base for it, isn't it?
Yes, Android platform with BlackBerry apps. So you still have like the Blackboard security.
Pretty much BlackBerry hardware with.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's best of both worlds for me.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, I think it is. But I think for some people, they've moved on and whatever. But
I personally moved on.
I think a lot of people have. I mean, if you were to pick one up, if you do a lot of work on your phone, and you still have the virtual keyboard.
Matter of fact, going back to cell phones. Do you remember when one of my main criteria for getting a new cell phone was it has to have interchangeable batteries, because I was that guy that would just run through them.
That was only like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
I can honestly say within the past like 3 years, the cell phones that they have now have completely eliminated that problem for me, which is a good thing. Yeah. Because I could literally rock and work off of my cell phone literally for about 4 or 5 hours straight.
You do everything. Yeah. Some people do most stuff. You do everything on your cell phone. You watch Netflix on it. You do a lot of shit on it.
Yeah.
You know something? I want people to kind of consider phone makers is to get rid of the glare on the phone, because most of the people use their phones on the run. You're either going from your cab to the subway, out into the office. Like having a phone that gives you glare, it does not. I don't care how bright your screen is. It is almost counterproductive. Get rid of the glare. You won't have to make your screen as powerful, and you'll be fine. Like you don't have to use a little battery just on your screen. The reason our batteries die because of our screen is because they're so bright to counter the glare.
Yep.
If you got rid of the glare, guess what? You don't have to battle that. I mean, I thought you guys would have figured it out in the last 5 years, but nobody has.
Honestly, if there was ever an honest critique over little changes that will go a long way,
that's it. That's the one.
The moment you said it, because I honestly never thought about it, but the moment you said it, I'm like,
yeah.
Get rid of the glare.
Get rid of the glare. And
I don't have to boost the screen up as much. Boom.
Yeah, because I operate all my cell phones at like maximum brightness just because of that.
You can't. You gotta battle the sun all the time. Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, Rod. I took over your phone. It's at maximum brightness now.
Yeah.
My bad. Like I just can't. It just is. Cool. So right now, would you recommend it? Would you recommend the S9?
Yeah, it's a good phone. It's not gonna be for everybody.
Right now, just holding it, I'm like, man, I'll wait for that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be for everybody, because if you have an S8,
changes are minor.
If you have an S8, I'm like, no, unless you got money.
Right. Okay.
Other than that, you got the same time. The camera is better, but
you want to ask yourself, what's your position in life right now? Do you have enough money to throw to go from maybe 8 to 9 or 7 to 9 or even 6 to 9?
Even though that Verizon deal where you buy one and get the other one free, that's not.
And then
it's not a bad deal.
There's some other stuff that came out. I didn't even get to it yet.
I did see that there's a lot of actual good initial packages.
Hella promos. They got
promos left and right.
That's a good thing about Samsung, though. They do good promos.
Oh yeah, they got 2 different packages, both at $100 each. One comes with wireless charge, the wireless earbuds, and
nice. Holy shit, for $100.
Something else for $100 when you get one.
Nice.
And then there's another one that's like it's the same thing, but something else switched out. But both come with the wireless charging pad. So I'm like,
sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Cool. What
Wait. So, do you think people should hold off for the Note 9, or what's the deal? What do you think?
I would.
I don't know. I would just say get the. It depends. It depends on what you use the Note for. Because if you're not pen heavy, I would just say get the S9 Plus and call it a day.
Okay.
Same thing.
There you go.
For the most part.
There's the answer right there.
Moving on, Apple announced WWDC 18 happening on June 4th.
So is that when they're going to announce the new phones?
No, new software. It used to be.
That's what I was going to say. I was like,
couple many moons back. It seems like many moons back. It used to be the thing, but now they've had their own, the iPhone event is their own separate event in October, I think.
Okay, so
no, September.
Okay. So here's the interesting part. The Apple over the past couple of years, I'm going to say,
they've been dropping the ball on software badly.
So, and to hear that, wow, they gave a date of June 4th. How many people are really going to care right now? That's what
there are people who's going to care because
no.
There's a lot of people who's going to care because they're going to curious to see what they do to fix the ball dropping, the countless ball dropping they've done.
Or if there is a fix.
No, there is because they're talking about iOS 12 and other things that's supposed to come with it, but we'll see what they do with it.
What do you think is going to be the big prediction? What do you predict is going to show up on that day?
I have to pull it up.
I mean, it's gonna be mostly all phone
information
updates.
That's out there, but
it has to be all phone updates. I can't think of it doing anything.
Because it's a software. Right. It's software developer conference, so it's gonna be iOS updates, iPad updates, watchOS, macOS.
Okay.
And then HomeKit for those who give a shit.
But you don't think there's gonna be any like, hey, this is a product. Like, here's a phone we might coming out.
No, they'll probably save that for if they do a product. They probably won't do a product at WWDC because apparently they're having an educational event next month in Chicago. Weird. So it's supposed to be education. Last time they did that, they announced iBooks. It was in New York. That was like a weird thing. So allegedly that's supposed to bring. I'm not sure if they're going to do it there or maybe at WWDC or somewhere else. Cheaper laptops and iPads.
Okay. Quick question. Like, as I did see on your notes here, that the very next thing you talked about is Android Wear.
Yeah.
Android Wear becomes Wear OS. Was that just a talk on the software name, or is there like some major upgrades in the operating system?
So far, no. It's literally just a name and logo change.
That's it.
So it's more marketing. It's a more marketing ploy right now.
It's a marketing ploy to try to bring in more Apple users.
So then the question you want to ask is are there a lot of Apple users that the reason why they get the iPhone is because of the iWatch? I don't think there is. So
no, not why, but
you know what I'm saying?
But they were saying, not they, but between Google and Fossil, their spokespeople, there's like a lot of their users own iPhones, so they kind of want to haul them in.
Got you.
So, but I'm like,
yeah, it's like okay, it's like all right, but is that going to be enough? I don't think it is. I mean, trademark logo changes and stuff like that is quasi big news, but not enough to make it.
It's not going to be more to attract people.
No,
that's going to be
because right now
that's the product that does that.
Yeah, because right now it's literally LG and the watch conglomerate that is Fossil and all their sub brands.
Yeah, there's too much. If you look at everything that Fossil is branches out into, it's
that
insane.
They own. Yeah, Skagen, Michael Kors, all this stuff, and then like Tag Heuer, like maybe a few higher at Movado and Tag Heuer. They have some. But other than that, those 3-4 entities, those are the only people making Android Wear right now. A lot of people kind of bowed out or they just stopped making because it
wasn't as big of a market as they expected it to be.
I mean,
hey, come on, remember
if you're not Apple Watch, nobody's buying smartwatches.
But it's not. I don't
like
even,
iPods. iPads. If you're not an iPad, nobody's buying tablets. As far as the masses,
I think it's also a thing has to do with style. Style has changed so much that people don't wear watches as much. People don't dress up. I remember reading an article where they were talking about how when you used to get on a plane, you used to dress up. People dress down now.
When people
they wear fucking like
people go on Broadway, they used to dress up.
Yeah, even when they used to go out to the theaters. Today people don't even wear watches. People don't even know how to tell time on a regular watch. Like that's why they need digital.
Oh, because you said 1:45. They'd be like,
what does that 25? Mean? I'm like, your mom should have pulled out if that's gonna be the question of the day. It's like.
So you think it's more of a culture thing than anything?
I think the culture has changed. Where like. Watches were
they're doing it for the culture.
Yeah, like they're doing it for the culture. Like people who are actually who would still wear a watch to an event, who actually have a watch that goes with a brown suit or a black suit or their shoes.
Like a leather strapped mechanical watch.
Yeah. Not like somebody who like me who wears a G-Shock all day because I know I'm gonna break it if I don't wear anything else. You know what I'm saying? So exactly, but
I would
and then even then,
battery
G-Shock is like really, they're not really jumping on board on any of those digital things. They're like, you know what, we know what we do it well. We're gonna stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, remember a couple years back when they busted out with the $1,000 G-Shock.
Yeah, but now they have like a whole series of $1,000.
Several of them.
They have $1,000 like a. When we went to the Casio event, they had a G-Shock.
The gold shit, right?
Not even the gold one, a crystal one.
Yes.
What? A crystal G-Shock. We had a glass.
It
was, and then
it was the basic No, it was the classic.
It was the classic look. Yeah, it was a classic. And crystal, and one made out of glass that was G-Shock resistant. And then they had a samurai edition, like it was welded in Japan with special metals that they would use on samurai swords. Yeah. And it had this nice finish, which was about $2,000. Like G-Shock is like you can get a nice G-Shock, a couple grand G-Shock out there nowadays.
What am I looking at?
Like G-Shocks are.
Is that one?
That's it. Yep.
This one?
Sapphire crystal.
Yeah, and then they're coming out with even more.
You think a crystal watch is gonna sound crazy? They're like, oh,
it looks really nice.
It doesn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, but the same thing is that they stick to the same technology. Like they're not gonna add something they don't really need. You know.
And the thing is, their technology is pretty great and pretty proven. So it's
proven,
like,
tested.
Why not? They've been at it 30-some years. So.
And unlike anybody else, like they know their market, they know their formula, and they're gonna keep with it. They're not gonna jump on the bandwagon like, oh, digital phone is the thing. Let's jump on it. Like, no, we were good. You don't see Rolex doing that. Rolex knows what it has. Swiss knows what it has. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
We do classic mechanical watches that will tell impeccable time. That's all we do.
Yeah, there's still a very premium watch market. So
for
like, as a matter of fact, I think I remember bringing this up when the first iWatch was out. I was like, listen, the problem with
the gold one that was like $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah, no. See, the problem with those things is that since they're technology based, the software and everything's going to be outdated extremely fast.
Batteries are going to change. Yeah.
So the problem with smart watches to this day is the fact that it will go out of style. Not it might, it will. But then again, there's 50s or even 60s or even 40s Rolexes that you can still wear today and it still looks timeless.
And they're immaculate with the time. Everything works perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. So there's those kind of situations like, do you really want a screen on your wrist or do you want something that is proven, is durable, is reliable, and it still looks good in pretty much everything you want?
And, you know, it brings up a point. I think
interesting question.
Apple's actually eventually going to go do away with the phone connectivity on the watch.
You think it's just going to be the watch?
Because I think it's going to be a fad that if people don't start wearing the watch, that like
there's nothing left.
There's nothing like why keep investing in technology and how to make your phone on your watch?
I agree.
When you just I actually think that the technology. Google failed. Google was...
They were too early.
They were too early. they were like the company before Uber.
Google Glass. They were too early.
Just like the company before Uber, when nobody's ever heard of, but there was a company before Uber that didn't make it. Then Uber came out, they made it. Google Glass was that company because now there's glass companies. Intel's doing that, and they're doing...
A couple other
That's going to stick.
Yeah,
that's going to be
innovative. They're starting
to
see augmented reality actually become a thing, and it's actually... they're starting to come up with practical ideas to make it viable. And that's I agree. The Google Glass, when it first came out, it sounded amazing. It sounded like wow, there's a chance here, but then nothing came of it because
the market didn't.
The market wasn't there for it. They didn't build enough people to follow it. Perfect example. Perfect example.
Eventually, I did.
This is the perfect example. Pi. When Pi first came out, everybody was laughing at it. Now everybody's jumping on how to do mini Pi minings for Bitcoins. People are creating Pi security systems at their home. People are taking Pi computers, connecting it to their old car so they can have displays and Wi-Fi and all this from Pi, a small little computer.
Freak people out, because some people don't know what the hell Pi is. Raspberry Pi.
Yes.
Raspberry Pi is a $25 or $35.
$35 now, the new one.
$35 mini computer. It's literally a little mini
board, like a credit card size. Credit card size board.
It's board, this big. And you could customize it pretty much any way you want. It's a good way to start into actually hands-on building computers.
And coding and everything.
People have done crazy stuff.
People have done crazy stuff with that.
It's kind of like
it's open source.
Yeah, it's an open source platform that if you look deep enough,
you're creative enough.
It's like a Minecraft.
Have you seen the emulators that came out of it?
Oh, dude,
there's Super Nintendo, Game Boy, like
dude, you can make an emulator with almost 8,000 games for like $60, and they can play on HD TV.
Yeah, there's one, if I remember right, it's a Super Nintendo emulator, and on top of them actually. You could actually buy the package where all you got to do is buy Raspberry Pi and they give you all the components to put it in. But they don't give you the ROMs. You have to do that yourself. But it also comes with a 3D printed controller that looks like the old SNES controllers.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, like so you could. It's already 3D printed, so you can literally grab the Raspberry Pi, and if you do it correctly, it just bolts right on, and that's it.
Yeah.
It looks OEM. Yeah. It's insane.
It's crazy. So and then, but I mean, that's the thing. Like that was something that was laughed at, but it stuck with what foundations were, and it's now. I mean, it's not mainstream, but for those who know computers,
it's
that's the hot thing. Culture, yeah, it is, and because it's so cheap, people are buying them like 4 or 5 at a time.
Yep.
And then using each one to do its own thing. One is a security system. One is some people are using theirs to be their media center. So not only does it do their music and the video, it can go online through a VPN and download all the movies that are on the world without anybody catching them. It's like, not that I condone that kind of stuff, but this is the kind of things that you're doing. And in the hindsight, here comes Google Glass behind. It had all the software development. It had all the research development. And they still failed. So, you know, it's all about the culture you create. Yeah, I know.
That's it.
It's like $25 for that case. That's it. Yeah, it's insane. So, I mean, this is the future. I think sometimes we think something's going to work, and it doesn't. And
so that's kind of where I think when it comes to watches, the direction that's going to end up going.
And then, I don't think too many companies are going to jump on adding the phone capability to their watches anytime soon.
Right.
No.
Right, I don't know much about this because I'm not an Apple guy, but Omar probably does. More affordable MacBooks and iPads?
I mean, that goes back to what I was saying before, that allegedly that's coming. So I'm not sure. It'll probably be like that. It's not going to be a Pro, definitely. They're not coming on at price. It'll probably be that 12-inch MacBook that came out that kind of like might as well be the new Air. That's USB-C everything.
Yeah, but doesn't it sound like it's going to give the same problem again? Because I know this is a problem that we've talked about before, that we think the amount of different Apple products that exist is oversaturating itself.
Well, yes and no. The main point was originally Apple had started with this concept because they had the iBook and then they had the MacBook Pro. And then that was a distinguishing. This is the entry level for those who want to go to college or can't afford the high-end one. Now we have, because at one point you can customize a 17-inch MacBook.
Right.
To have an anti-glare screen. Like, they made a screen that didn't glare, which I don't know why they didn't put that to all their computers.
Have you noticed that glare is the big subject of the day?
Big subject of the day.
Wait, when did they have this anti-glare technology?
It was about 5 years ago when they stopped making the 17 inches or something like that.
Cell phone guys, are you hearing this?
It was
5 years ago, you guys had this.
That's what I'm saying. It was custom made. You had to order it and pay extra for it. And you can make a custom 17-inch MacBook to full specs.
Was it a popular option?
It was only popular for those who wanted to customize their computer.
It was a popular option.
Who had the money to.
Yeah, because
you hear me? I'm trying to
17-inch. Well, yeah, because the 17-inch alone was like crazy price.
But it was only people who worked in the studios or wanted to go mobile, or photographers who travel the world wanted to be able to edit stuff right there and there.
Yeah, anti-glare laptops that are tethered to your camera.
Exactly. But then that was a point where like there was a division between the entry level and the high end. And then they came out with they got rid of the iBook and came back with the MacBook, not the Pro, just the regular MacBook.
Okay.
But then that price started to seemingly get closer and closer to the actual MacBook price at the entry level.
Right.
And then they had the entry level 13-inch, entry level, and then the high-end 13-inch, and then they had the entry-level 15-inch and the high-end 15-inch. And it was like, all right, now you have all these intermediates. Now you can even customize it. And the price between the regular MacBook and the Pro is a couple $100.
Right.
Like literally $200 was maybe the difference.
Then they got rid of it.
And then the point was like, well, why? I mean, if that's, might as well jump on the Pro. And that's what they were trying to do. I guess that was the strategy. Like, start low and eventually increase it to the point where they decided to just, hey, I'm just going to buy the Pro because it's already at that price point.
Do you think this is something that's... Is this what their intention is with these low end?
To go back to that kind of previous model? I don't know if that's the intention.
We'll see, because sometimes they do it right where they'll announce something new and kill off something quietly.
Do you think this is something that they're looking for in the They're looking for in. You saw that, right? I'm trying to bust out something else.
I'm not sure if that's something you would look at.
We're not pulling that up.
No.
The world wants to see what we do.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah, but they may do something like, at this point, they might as well just kill off the Air.
That's what it sounds like.
Because they have the regular 12-inch one that is running a Core M or whatever. But whatever, if you can get it at a good price and still be dumb slim, yeah, just kill the Air off. Just sell it only in Groupon or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's not a stat. That's a lot. You find a lot of good deals on Groupon.
And I mean, in those Airs serve a purpose. If you're a writer and you're not doing anything else but writing, the Air is the perfect computer for you.
Yeah.
But now, if you're gonna get into video and doing stuff like that, or even like podcast, you might need something a little bit beefier.
A little more beefier. So the question is, what will the price point be for cheaper MacBook?
It had to be under $1,000 to get the entry. There has to be because if not, then there's no point. Like you can go to Chromebook.
Now here's the other point. Here's the other point.
If you think if they would make it if they start at $800, they might be okay.
But would Apple want to?
They're not gonna go lower.
But would Apple want to put themselves at such a low price? Because remember, one thing that they always deemed was that they were the premium laptops. They were the premium this and the premium. Now it's like, all right, we're not premium no more. Now we're going to go to lower
But the thing is now is that a lot of things that the house of Jobs was built on is kind of going out the window.
Yeah.
So it's like they could choose to stick to it or just throw it out the window too.
And you think they're just throwing it out the window?
Maybe half and half. Maybe Arnold Palmer a bit.
Arnold Palmer half and half. If you don't get it, bro, you ain't drinking good stuff.
I mean, at this time, I'm kind of Apple's all over the place with what they're like.
Yeah.
There's no concise direction where Apple's going. Like they want to go all over the place. Like there's no like, and then like when you don't have a purpose or a goal, you're gonna walk aimlessly through the desert for 40 years. It's not gonna end well.
Damn, he just busted out.
Like you have to literally find a direction. And, hey, we're gonna go this way. If it doesn't work, we'll change course. But pick a direction. Like
you still have to pick a direction.
You still have to pick a direction as a whole, as a company. And I don't know if they know what the direction is anymore. Like
that's
that's
the main
it definitely seems like it's not concrete.
Because I mean, their best attempt at a direction was the iPhone 10, and that did not work out well for them.
Yeah, it didn't.
So
the
only saving grace now is that the iMac Pro or the iMac Pro
or the Mac Pro,
whatever they call it, is a success. It became the success that they needed. People actually, this is a computer that if you purchase it and you trick it out to whatever specs you need, this might be the computer that it's like the tower. This might last you 7-10 years.
Boom.
And I mean, well into like editing footage for 8K if you're a videographer or whatever. But that's it. I mean, now they're talking about bringing back the trash can. Not the trash can in the sense that it's basically going to be a trash can like a little bit bigger, more like the previous, but it's going to be upgradable.
I think
they're going back to bringing back the old
would
aluminum.
Would that be the Pro or this be something
Pro?
Else? So the Pro,
it's just a Mac Pro. So this is the iMac Pro that they have now. It's going to be a Mac Pro. So that's the rumor that they might bring a Mac Pro that it's upgradable like the old Mac.
No,
Pro
I know that, but the fact you said trash can, I'm like, yo,
they're not going to go back to the whole big aluminum like tower that they had before. Yeah. So there's going to be the compromise between that and a little. But again, like, is it too late for them to get back into like the upgradables? Well, I mean, people want it, but is it too late for them to be upgradable? Because remember, desktops are going the way of the dinosaur. The few people who do have desktops are people who that's where their jobs revolve around it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So
if you're not a creative who doesn't need a desktop,
but they still I don't know. I think they should still just make a sexy tower and make it upgradable.
Yeah, I would be all for that if they made a sexy tower and be like, hey, you guys can upgrade it as you please.
All you got to do.
But now the thing is that they have all these Unix like third-party apps you can install to any PC and kind of try to sort of make it into a Hackintosh.
Really?
So it's like, all right. So at this point,
that's going to do some.
You can take a $5,000 iMac but buy the components into a PC, probably make it 10 times better.
Yeah,
install.
That's going to.
I mean, your iMessage might not work. And your app store might be a little bit glitchy, but hey, if you install what you need right away and let it be, and
it's like, who cares?
Who cares?
Like,
well, honestly,
if you think in Hackintosh, you should know what you're getting.
Yeah, you should know what you're getting into, and if you make it work, then solid gold.
You save a hell of a lot of money without using Geico,
and you can keep updating. So
that's it.
I mean, I think they need to find a direction of where they're gonna go. They're trying to do the car thing. They're trying to do the TV thing that they dropped immediately.
They've been talking about stuff like that for years, man.
Exactly.
The TV, I remember the TV talk has been going around since Jobs was alive.
Yeah, and then supposedly they went back to back on it, and there was rumors of them tearing up with LG to kind of get them to make their screens, and you're jumping into the game. Like that HomePod was another miss.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful, but it's still a miss because you can get a whole much better system sounding, more flexible, more adaptable to your environment, using various platforms.
Yeah. Right.
If you it does sound nice, I give them that, but the fact that you're bottlenecking to one
Yeah, I mean, if
music platform that no one uses.
Yeah, see, if you're looking at the bigger picture of the Apple universe provides, like, you know, with its software, its apps,
ecosystem.
Thank you, it's ecosystem, whatever you want to call it. If you look at it, it's a faulty ecosystem, because eventually, if it doesn't accept that there are other apps that also do jobs as equal as them, and they said
jobs.
That was an accidental pun. That was an accidental, but damn it, I'll take credit. So if you look at the accidental
jobs, you said it.
Jobs, right? I maybe lose my train of thought for a second. If you look at all these, if they need to start recognizing that there are apps that are just as worthy as their stuff, and they need their Apple community to have access to it as well.
Dude, but they're kind of behind.
It's really alienating a lot of people.
They're kind of behind the game, because we went to the Samsung review of their new TVs.
No, you went.
Oh, yeah, I went. And the way their Samsung's ecosystem works, if you have everything in your house Samsung, dude, this shit talks to itself.
Smart things.
Like, it literally, like, your TV or talk, like, if you're watching TV and you ask your phone what's in your fridge, you'll get a quarter picture-in-picture on your TV of literally what's in your fridge.
A live feed of your fridge.
A live feed of your fridge. Like, oh, so you think, hey, baby, you're out right here. Pick up some milk, because
we're out.
Dude, and then you'll get a message alerting you if you want it or not. You can turn the notifications off
like
on the corner of your TV saying, hey, your laundry is done. Your dryer is done. Like, yo, this is your whole TV, your dryer, everything talking to itself. That's an ecosystem.
You hearing this?
That's an ecosystem.
That's like, you're looking at me.
I'm an environment self-sustaining in itself.
I'm listening to you, and I'm like, are you hearing this, Apple?
This is speaker systems. Like, all of this is like...
Samsung has the ability to tell you that you're low on milk. Like, that's insane. Okay, so
yeah,
that's what, if you really want to look at what other people are doing, you need to catch up.
Did they have some of like did they have like actual fridges and stuff there?
They had the things you can walk around and kind of see how they connect to each other.
I don't know if you've seen them before.
Yeah, and that's what you call an ecosystem. And the thing is that I wonder if they're working with, like, you know, Amazon. So if you can connect your Samsung fridge to be like, hey, when you're low on something, just tell Alexa to buy it. Because then that ecosystem would be an ecosystem that talks to other ecosystems and works, you know, in sync. I think it's Bixby. To an extent.
I think it's Bixby, but I still think it talks to Amazon.
But here's the thing, though. The new Bixby that they were trying to preach that's going to come out for these... so
the late Note 9.
Yes. It's going to be one that's actually more intuitive to connect your devices, to talk to your devices. That's what I mean, and that's because, you know, Alexa and Google are talking to each other, and Amazon they're competitors, but at the same time they want to be able to have more people use their devices with each other.
Yeah.
Apple is like, no, you have to use my device, my thing. You don't have a TV, you don't have a dryer, you don't have a washing machine.
You have nothing to talk to.
You barely have a HomePod that only talks to itself. So you don't have an ecosystem, my friend. I am sorry.
Like, I am so lonely.
You have that is not an ecosystem. Just because your phone can talk to your computer is not an ecosystem. You know, just because your phone can talk to one set of lights that you have to buy from Philips, that's not an ecosystem.
Nah, it's not.
An ecosystem is self-sustaining that you
can
step away from, and it can still continue to work on itself.
There you go.
That's an ecosystem. They don't have it.
Boom.
I think they forgot what an ecosystem is, and they need to go back to fundamentals.
That's a great way to say it. So so Apple, pay attention, okay?
Yeah, everybody else is.
Oh God, I guess we gotta talk about the big ones now, huh?
Well, yeah, you want to go to Black Panther? You want
to do Black Panther? We all saw it.
Wait, right? first, let's talk about something that just crossed our feeds today.
That thing.
So Uber has autonomous cars out on the road testing right now in various different states, and one of them is Arizona. There's always a driver behind the car, but the car itself is driving autonomously. Right. So apparently yesterday or a couple days ago, in Arizona, one of these autonomous cars with the driver behind it hit a pedestrian and killed him. Oh. So now Uber is just recalled all their autonomous cars from the road
from all
testing sites into further notice. We don't know if they're permanently being called out or called out into this investigation of what actually happened. But with all that said, the technology is not there yet. I don't think it ever has been yet, so we can start testing cars. In the daytime, yes, everything works fine. The thing is at nighttime, because at nighttime, cameras pick up light differently. Mm-hmm. You know, light reflects differently off different people's skins. The darker you are, reflects a little bit, not as bright. So like the images might not be coming back on night. Like if you're crossing a street at night with it's poorly lit, your car might not be able to see you. Like nighttime, we don't have that technology. In the daytime, yeah, but as soon as the night goes down, you might want to stop the autonomous car until we receive technology that can literally pick up. Like when all these cars have the same sensor that the Sony A7S II that can see in the night has, then you can drive at night perfectly fine. When your car doesn't have that and has a shitty daytime sensor and you're trying to drive it at night,
it's running over dark-skinned people.
Or people who are dressed all in black because they just come out of a golf party or something. We don't know.
I'm gonna play a little bit of a devil's advocate because I did read up.
Because you're Latino.
No.
I don't know if there's much to play about somebody getting run over.
Well, no. Hear me out on this one. I think that they're gonna be they're pulling out, but only temporary.
That's what she said.
The reason why it's stupid. The reason why I think that is because if you look at all forms of transportation technology, going back to like
the horse. Going back to the horse-driven carriage.
You about to say the joint with the crank, right?
The crank,
yeah.
Cadillac.
You told me that story.
Did you hear why we have an ignition starter on cars?
Because you can crank it and the car will run you over?
No, actually, a friend of the owner of Cadillac cranked it and it kicked back and it cracked his head open and he died. Because of that, he actually went back to the engineers and said, "My friends will never hand crank a motor again. Figure out a way to do it." And they invented.
Dude, that's why they have servants.
Wait, no. But that's how they invented starters. Now, at the same time, somebody else died because they got run over at nighttime. Because back then, did you know that Model Ts, they didn't have electric headlights? They literally had gas lamps in the front.
Did not know that.
Yes. Wow. Right? So then people started getting run over. They were like, we need to find something better. Cadillac invented incandescent headlights.
But that's only because white people were getting run over.
So because people started dying.
No, white people started dying.
In the end, it's not race. People started dying. Same thing.
I don't know. I think we can go back and research that. It might be because when the darkies don't die, that's fine. When the white yo, he's a politician. He cannot die.
No, I'm not going there.
Sorry, that's my. I don't know.
I'm not walking with you on that one, man.
I walk the line alone. That's fine. Me and Johnny Cash.
All right, hold on. Let me finish this point. The point is that a lot of technology when it comes to safety, road safety, aviation safety, was only got fixed and got better because people ended up dying because of that mistake. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so with this death that happened, as sucky as it is, they're gonna learn from it and then they're gonna try to correct it so it'll never happen again. Now, is it 100% guaranteed? Of course not. But
no, I mean
every time something else happens, they're gonna do so much research into it that they're going to try to prevent it again. Did you know last year in aviation history was actually one of the least fatalities in aviation history ever? It's because over the years, every time there was an accident, they kept on fixing something.
Yeah, they always do.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing with cars. That's why we have, that's why we have.
Unless you're Volkswagen.
No, even.
No, Volkswagen is everything the opposite. It boosts the climate. It tries to poison monkeys in cages. I don't know if Volkswagen is on that same.
But even like with cars, that's why we have headrests, right? The headrest is actually a law. It's a safety law, because people started realizing that in crashes, people start getting severe whiplash to the point of dislocating their necks. Oh. So headrest became this. So when the head is cocked back, the headrest stops it from going all the way back. Eesh. You know what I mean? That's why headrests are there. There you go. It's not there for show. You know what I mean? That's why 3-point seatbelts exist. Even when 2-point seatbelts existed, that wasn't all the way. That didn't start till the 60s when they started realizing a lot of our teenagers are flying through the front windows. You know what I mean? It takes deaths for them to realize. As crazy as it sounds, it takes deaths for people to start trying to fix those things. So
with anything, you don't know something's gonna happen until it happens. Yeah.
This is just the next step of the process that it takes to make something safer. As sucky as I have to say that it costs life.
Yeah, and it's crazy that sorry to cut you off. It's crazy that Uber of all companies, who's gotten that, they've had bad rap after bad rap. Google's been testing that shit for
they're not united
years.
Though.
They've been fine. I think people hit a parked cars, whatever. Some wild stuff where other person's at fault, not self-driving car. But it's like, damn, Uber, I can't catch a break.
And then at the same time, if you really want to look into it, then there's also Tesla who has autonomous vehicles, and they've been they've been breaking their cars way early to prevent car accidents left and right. You know what I mean? So. But
that's because that's because AI. Like it's the AI that's kind of it's kind of like.
So do you think do you think there's an AI thing with Uber?
I don't know if it might be a
software.
I think it might just mean
we don't software that only have AI in it.
Or they might be a bad cash sensor or camera that didn't work or failed. Like we won't know until the official report is back. But yeah, I mean it goes back to the idea like AI does serve some purposes, even though I don't like Skynet, but still. The idea that some people are better drivers I'm not gonna say race or sex, but some people are better drivers than others. Not necessarily because of any sex or race, but because they have the ability to look ahead and notice, hey, this guy's stopping, this guy's swerving, something's coming up. Let me go ahead. Other people look straight ahead. They'll notice all these cars braking, they're like, but they're so concentrated on the car in front of them. Like, you have to be preventive. You know, you have to, like, if you see a car swerve in front, know that there might be a chain reaction coming to their back, so you can start braking yourself, distancing yourself, so you're not like the last guy at the end of the pile. That's where Tesla's AI is coming in, where it's predicting like what a human would think. Like, all right, I see this car swerving. I see these cars. Oh, they're all braking. Let me brake. Start slowing down before it becomes a pile up.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. So like it's noticing things that other. And then again, it's what they've been developing. I don't know what Uber's developed. I don't even know what Google's developed. You know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see because you're right. They definitely pulled. Uber definitely pulled their autonomous vehicles. Basically, because they want to know exactly what they want to happen.
They don't want an iRobot incident. They want to make sure like everything's working right.
As crazy as that sounds, it's actually becoming more plausible as the days go by.
Skynet, bro. Nobody believes you when I say this shit.
Those who get it, Terminator, watch it. But yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks that she died. I think it's gonna be interesting what's gonna be Uber's reaction in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And see how long it's going to take for them to say, okay, we think we fixed the problem. We're going to put it back on the road.
No, so we've been talking about how we're improving the past. Now to a point where the past has shown us in the present how to work. We have bridges that are being manufactured that are collapsing over a day. But then we have the Roman bridges that have been lasting for like 5,000 years.
That's what I mean.
And it's not even, it's not even just the Roman. Like, you can Greek, any ancient culture, you'll see some of these buildings or structures that, like, perfect example. I don't know how many times the Mongols or Mongolians or whatever they want to call it have attacked China. That fucking wall looks impeccable at certain points.
Yeah, it's still there.
And that wall is old as fuck. It's still there. It's still there. It's not going anywhere. Earthquakes, hurricanes,
even like you said,
it's gonna be there.
In Italy, where earthquakes do happen,
a lot.
The Roman aqueducts are still there.
Still there.
You know what I mean? And
built to last centuries.
And that's the thing. People like.
And it didn't cost millions of dollars to make.
But yeah, before we even mention that, let's mention why we talk. If you haven't read the news,
the GOP.
If you haven't read the news, in Florida there was a bridge that fell down 5 days after they put it up.
It wasn't even up yet. They were still testing it.
Yeah, it was
installed. It was installed that weekend.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was.
And they were still tightening the bolts and like testing some of the things.
There's a perfect example of when modern technology should be like, don't go leaps and bounds. Because you heard what the big deal about that specific bridge was, right? They built it, there's a highway right here. They built it on the side of the highway, right? And they actually built with modern technology a hinge system. So when it was ready, when it was finally completed, they were gonna lift it and hinge it, and then lock it down and bolt it on each side.
Why?
I have no idea. See, I think it was over.
Why don't you just put it on and bolt it in place?
Just put it where it's supposed to be in the first place.
Why the fuck do we need it? This isn't a goddamn drawbridge.
I personally, I was like, okay, I see why I see like the engineers being like, yeah, let's try this, but I hope there's a really good report as to why we need to do it this way.
Especially the fact of what happened.
Yeah, because it's like, I think it's the bolts that held it together, the ones that collapsed.
I don't know. Like I said, they're still investigating. You might be right. I've only read pieces of it.
Yeah, it was a very weird design bridge. The fact that like
it is weird. It is a weird design bridge.
They built it like this.
It's a straight slab. So there's no support beams or arcs to take the pressure off of it's just a straight cross.
So then they hinged it over. It just sounds weird.
It's weird.
It just sounds like, bro, you did not see that coming.
It's the kind of shit that you build at a science fair, and like the teacher says, this is gonna kill people. They're like, don't ever build this in real life, and then these fuckers be like, no, let's put that one in real life.
Yeah, they're like, yo, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Like,
build the one that you're not supposed to. Good job, guys.
Yeah. So in situations like that, guys, sometimes tried and tested is the best way to go.
Yeah. Nothing's wrong with the arcs. Arcs look nice. They're beautiful things.
I think they're beautiful things. I love the old classic bridge. Matter of fact, Brooklyn Bridge is still absolutely beautiful.
And look at that. That shit's like fucking tested.
Have you ever walked the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You walked it?
No,
walk it one day. And a nice summer, it's beautiful.
I need to.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. I did it by accident. Like
it's nice.
It was like we was in the area. We were walking around. I was like, "There's a sign for the Brooklyn Bridge." Oh, it's the next block. We're not doing nothing.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it was like that. You know what I mean? But if you haven't done it, walk the Brooklyn Bridge. It's amazing.
But I mean, that goes back to like sometimes to the technology you think we know, we actually have no idea what's going on. I mean, it should be not interesting. It's a sad state of affairs. But I would like to see the final report and exactly what was the ultimate cause of this bridge collapsing, and going back to see what they can learn from it.
Yep.
Maybe they should have just stuck to regular, a big old iron cross beam and then
just keep it moving, right?
Put some wooden planks on it, and there you go, keep it moving, you know?
Yeah, there's always somebody that's like, but it doesn't look pretty enough. It's not modern enough. Sometimes you don't need modern.
Yeah. Sometimes you need functional.
It's functional over fashion all day.
It lasts a couple hundred years. I bet you if we did that beam, like the iron construction beam, if we did an iron beam like walkway bridge with just wooden pieces, it would have probably not cost $19 million. It would probably cost like $5 million. And it would probably like lasted the whole century, long after hurricanes came and take Florida away, you know?
Exactly.
But I mean, tragedy happens when we learn from it, like Carlos said.
I hope, because this sounds like this could have been avoidable, and it just wasn't for whatever reason.
And I guess before we get into the sweet stuff,
I guess we'll hold off on something so I can walk that. I guess we'll hold off on Black Panther.
We'll hold off on the comics, but let's talk about the passing of Toys R Us.
Yeah, Toys R Us, R.I.P. It's bound to happen.
Did you think it was going to happen though? Because I always thought there was a staple. Because niche
honestly thought it was going to happen
always
a few years
last. Back. Like niche companies always seem to last longer.
Yeah.
Niche industries last longer than like the general industries because they have a particular spot. And I was thinking like they were gonna be a toy store. All they sold was toys and kids stuff. Yeah, like we thought that was gonna last for like decades or millennia.
I'm surprised it lasted long. I thought it was gonna cut off maybe about 3 to 5 years ago.
Really?
Honestly,
I was thinking farther back. I was
thinking like if AOL Schwartz is closing. Y'all sell video games, but y'all not the only ones. How are you guys gonna keep y'all lights on?
Yeah, Toys R Us, man. That was when they lost it. I was like, whoa, that's a big one.
It's like, damn. So
I mean, and they're tied where babies are us too. So it's like, what interesting is like once those flash sales start, like, get rid of everything in stock.
Time to get a Switch.
PlayStation 4,
Xbox One X.
Whatever you want to do, you better get on that line because it's gonna go quick.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, but yeah. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. I hope
Jeffrey the giraffe finds a home.
Exactly. Someone's gonna do a rest in peace, Jeffrey.
He was the mascot,
cartoon.
By the way.
Yeah, if you don't know,
we're too young to know.
Yeah. So yeah, goodbye to them. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right. So you want to go Black Panther?
You want to do Black Panther? We all saw it. Did we all see it?
Yeah, we all saw it.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been saw it.
Yeah, I know. You're like I've been saw it.
Slow.
Okay, we all saw Black Panther at different times on our own when we all had the ability.
On different days.
Different days.
With different people.
Right.
At different theaters.
The whole night. Different popcorn. I liked it. It was good. It was, my opinion, wasn't great. I don't think it was the best superhero movie. I don't at all. But I do think it is. I do think when it comes to Marvel movies, I definitely place it in a very close tie with like Winter Soldier. I do give it that, because I think depending on my day, on my mood, Winter Soldier could be on top, Black Panther could be on top.
So tie for one.
Yes, but I could give you my honest critiques as to why I've had that debate. Like, I think because if anybody knows me, like my favorite superhero movie is Dark Knight. But if you look at Marvel as it is, Michael B. Jordan, was this his first time playing a villain?
Yep.
Okay. As a villain, he did a great job, but the problem that I had with him was that specific character, the way it was written, felt very one-dimensional to me. Maybe it's just me.
Really?
You know why? Because it felt like, and I'm not gonna try to
spoil it.
I'm not gonna try to
spoil it. Fuck it, it's been a month. They haven't seen it by now.
Has it been a month?
Yeah, over a month.
It's been a month.
Dude, they're going on their 5th week. Is
number 1. High five that thing.
They're going
if you want to spoil it, I don't care.
If you haven't seen it by now, that's just your problem.
All right, screw this. All right, make sure you put a marker. We're gonna start dropping spoilers right now. If you want to skip that, go to this minute video section right there, and we'll just skip that. So I felt that he was very one-sided, one-dimensional, because it really was, I'm angry, and I'm gonna and that's basically it. This is why I'm angry, and that's really it. If you really look at it.
But you didn't really see him get angry until he got to Wakanda.
Yeah. But you already knew he was upset. You knew there was something. He had something against somebody. You could tell from the very get.
But I mean, I'm gonna take the.
Go
for it. I was like you.
He goes.
I got this. Like you, when I first saw the trailer, I thought the worst of Michael B. Jordan, and I love him as an actor. Don't get it wrong. I do love him. And
that's why I told you about that fire thing. I was like, I'm telling you,
I thought the worst of him. I thought he was gonna be a horrible villain. I thought, like, originally not knowing the whole backstory, thought that he was playing it too ghetto or too trashy or whatever, not African or rootsy or whatever you want, ethnic enough. When you see them, when I saw the movie, I was like, dude, he killed it. He did a great performance. I think there's a lot of pieces people miss when they watch the movie the first time because it has to do more with the cultural influence. Like the reason it was shot in Oakland, the Black Panther Party started in Oakland. Yep. So like there's ties to like why this happened and why he has this anger. His father, if you actually realize what his father was doing, his father was actually a Black Panther leader. Yeah. He was a Black Panther in his own way. Yeah. While his brother was a Black Panther in Wakanda. Yeah. So like that connection. When you start seeing Michael B. Jordan's character come alive, you start if you're paying attention or not even if you're able to catch or connect the dots at the time, you start realizing this character is unfolding the way the American culture or society unfolded. Yeah. He is the epitome of not just because he's an angry black man, but the man who's been left by himself, abused by a system, to take the system over himself.
I think going with you on the him playing a villain, I loved him as a villain. Oh yeah. If you ask me about his specific performance, damn, like I think he did a great job. I can't deny that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like,
auntie.
Huh?
Yeah.
yo, when he did that, I was like, this guy's an asshole. Like it really was that moment. I was like, dude. Yeah. When you're talking about like like the angry black man and the whole
so many layers in that fight.
There is a lot of layers, especially in this character.
This is what I would have liked about him. Okay, like how you said, it was set. Like his dad was a Black Panther in more ways than one, and everything like that. Oof. I understood that after, right? I think for the fact that they should have hashed that out more. You know what scene I would have loved to have seen more of? When he actually took the purple flower and he went into the other realm and talked to his dad, I would have loved to have that scene more hashed out.
No, I think that scene is perfect.
I know, I get you, but
here, look, I'm gonna interrupt again. You can sit back. You watched it already. You I already know what you're gonna say. I got you on this. Look,
go for it.
In the part where T'Challa goes to see his father, his ancestors, right? He does like the eating the purple, the purple, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Both times he goes. The first time he goes, so his father can tell him, "Hey, you're ready. You got this. You've seen me. You followed me. You walk my footsteps. Now you can walk them on your own." Right. The second time he goes, almost confront him because he realizes he realizes the mistake, and both those times are him growing. Or him learning, or him becoming his own independent person. When we see Killmonger's character do it, and his father try to tell him, Killmonger is trying to, even though his dad's already gone, he's trying to let his dad grow, because he's telling him, "You think they left you behind? They left us all behind."
Right.
And his father was like, "Damn."
And then his father had that. His father is perfect example. His father realizes what T'Challa was realizing. So his character is already hashed out. He knows his mission. He's had that moment in his life, growing up without his father, growing up in a system that was broken. He had the realization without ever having to eat that herb. Right. Because that wasn't a moment for him. Right. That was a moment for his father and for the audience. Yeah. That moment wasn't for him because his moment had already come, him growing up.
See, like exactly what you said.
Wait, he has something to say.
Go ahead.
All right, this will be quick. The opening sequence where the person is telling things. Huh?
No, the opening.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oakland 19. Yeah.
That's Killmonger.
Right.
That's not
T'Challa. That's Killmonger's father is telling him that.
No, right.
So there's your extra time. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's his.
No. Like exactly what you just said. When it comes to like Killmonger, like what you said, like yes, in the story, they basically lay it all out for you that yes, Killmonger, this is what happened. He was fatherless. He was motherless. He was an orphan. He was raised by a system. That's why he's all angry about it. I understand that. You know what I mean? But the parts that I would want to have seen.
You just want to see more.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to see more.
Not that you're pissed, but you're like.
Yes. I know you're pissed. It's obvious why you're pissed, but I want to see more of why you're pissed because I want to develop more of an emotional connection to you. I personally did not get that as much as I wanted to. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem that I had with it. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have with it. Because everything you said, completely with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The problem is,
I thought my daddy with Panther claws. Fucking
yeah. You know what? His discovery of seeing his dad like that, even if they extended that part a little bit more, for me, I would have liked it more because I would have felt for him a lot more. You kind of get what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like that's
you
what
kind of maybe see him go through the system, maybe a quick run through of him going through the system, his rough upbringing.
I
get you. I see where you're coming from, but I think Ryan Coogler, the director, was trying to hint on the idea that yes, this is a broken man who represents America.
Whatever the system may be.
Whatever the system may be.
That's kind of what I kind of figured too.
But he didn't want to make you care about that because nobody else does. The reality is that you might want to fall in love with this character, but the world hasn't. The world has made these characters victims or punished them or made them traitors or made them less than human. So I mean, this is me just interpreting. I think his idea might have been like, if I make him too likable, I'm not going to show how America's actually seeing black people. And he's kept it as real as possible to where people actually dislike the angry black man.
On that note, Ryan Coogler, fucking amazing job.
You did a great
like
third movie.
Yeah, because it's Fruitvale, Creed, and this, isn't it? Right?
Yep.
Fruitvale was. You haven't seen Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, dude, that was an incredible movie.
If you haven't seen Fruitvale Station, it was Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
Side note: Forrest Whitaker helped produce Fruitvale Station for him back in the day, so it's fitting that he's like, "Oh, I get to work with you." Yeah.
Then I know
that. Same cinematographer too, Rachel Morrison, who was the first female nominated in the Oscars for cinematography too.
Nice. Honestly, if you look at what Coogler has done.
Oh. Sorry. What'd you think of Wakanda?
I liked it.
Amazing.
I know y'all talking about the Lexus thing. I'm like,
I fucking hate Lexus.
You ain't got to worry about the fucking car in Wakanda.
Yeah, I hated the fucking Lexus. Should have been another car, not Lexus. But that's the side.
I understand it, but I'm like, you ain't got to worry about this shit.
Talk about funny ass technology. What are those? Yeah. That part, I died. I almost pissed myself.
I liked how it kind of looked almost like a little town, like out of a Star Wars kind of like little thing.
Yeah,
it looked like so futuristic, like it was something out of a Star Wars kind of thing. I love
the fact that they showed
like the different tribes.
I love that.
I love the fact
amazing.
that they showed different tribes, but I love the fact that they showed. Listen, I was like, we stayed hidden, and our technology is way better than everybody, and you will never know.
Yeah,
I like that part and the reasoning behind it. I really did like all that part. I do like. I generally speaking, I really liked the whole movie. As the best superhero movie, I can't give that label up for me. It's very hard because again, for me, it's Dark Knight. There was so much level.
You know, I think on that note, it's a very different superhero movie than we come to. I think this would be more on par. I think this would be more on par with kind of a Logan because it's more of a story. It's more a story. Yeah, it has its popcorn moments. Everybody's blowing up, but it's more about the story. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like
bigger shit is.
I do like the fact that the way they set up that specific universe. Okay,
because it's own. It's been hidden, so it's own universe.
Like that's why if people ask me what did I think of Black Panther. I loved it. I think there's some flaws, but nothing that I'm really gonna cry about. If anybody ever asks me what's the biggest flaw for me, I will say is Michael B. Jordan, just because I personally wanted more. Matter of fact, I wanted more. But as a villain, I think he did a great ass job. But the ass whooping he gave to T'Challa, damn,
this your king.
Yo, that point I was like, this guy. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I mean, shout out to Ryan Coogler, great job.
What about Michonne?
Great. I think the people who stole the show were all the female leads.
I love
they're really strong.
No weak females.
No weak females at all, bro.
And I'm gonna bring this up. I had a very interesting conversation about. I had a very interesting conversation about this specific movie because I'm not gonna name names, but I had somebody mention the fact that
name names, bro.
I'm not gonna name names.
No, you ain't gonna do that.
But the argument came to. I don't see what the big deal of Black Panther is, and my argument is this: I was like, the reason why Black Panther is such a landmark movie, not because of the storyline, not because of the villain, not because of the director,
representation,
but because the bigger picture as a whole. This is the first time, and please correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time a studio decided to give this much of a budget movie to make a tentpole movie featuring pretty much an all-black cast.
Black.
That
writer,
is
costume director.
fairly unknown cast members, fairly unknown. Michael B. Jordan notwithstanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really look at it,
the guy who played M'Baku, this is his first movie.
Did a great job. M'Baku was a great character.
That's what I said. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, he was a badass.
That was Silverback, right?
Yeah.
That's like silence. Feeds my children.
Yo, he did it. I love this character. I love this character. I love his performance.
And
I love
he's in Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in the trailer.
He was in the back. I saw him. I was like, yo.
Definitely. It was a great representation.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, I say this. This is what made it so landmark. It's the first time a major studio said we're going to give you this much money to make a tentpole movie featuring relatively unknown all black cast. You know what I mean? And for that is a big deal for the culture. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it.
Because it hasn't been done.
Hasn't been done.
It's 2018. Like, no,
you know,
and people
and the argument that I heard was like, well, they threw money before. I mean, look at Cedric the Entertainer. Like they did you know, he did the remake for Honeymooners. I'm like, yeah, but I was like this was my argument. I was like, but listen, I was like, what you're telling me is that like a studio throws $20 million for a come and go movie comedy. But they're not putting a tentpole.
And it wasn't even.
This is how we're running the whole rest of the year.
And it wasn't even a movie that they expected to make money back. Like the majority of the budget went to play the 4 main actors. That was really it.
Pretty much it.
So like it wasn't the movie that they really cared about to invest marketing money. Or it was like, oh, it's a remake. You know what? To feel good, it's an all black cast remake and an all white crew.
And that's kind of where my argument stands. It's like, listen,
they didn't get it, did they? Still didn't get it. Then? Yeah, some people just. I mean, honestly,
it was more like, dude, I see that as racism. I'm like, no, it's not racism.
What?
I swear to God.
I mean, we've been doing movies for like 100 years of the opposite side.
No, I agree. I don't believe you.
I was like, matter of fact, I was like.
But that mentality is like, you win, bro. I can't.
There's no way I could argue around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the reality is that it's not about. This movie was not about. It's a racist thing. No. If you look at the characters, if you look at the comic book characters. There's damn near no white anybody.
Yeah, because it takes place in Africa.
And it takes place in Africa. There's
other than South Africa, there's very few white people in Africa.
So what it
in the whole of the nation.
What it is that we like the movie industry said we're gonna give you $150 million budget. Never been done on an all black cast, fairly unknown.
Was that 150?
$2 million. It was $200 million.
$200 million budget to make one movie as a tentpole with relatively unknowns. That's insane, never heard of, and they paid off in spades.
And then relatively a young cinematographer, because Rachel at the time wasn't. I mean, she had some good movies under her, but
again,
not been nominated yet.
Like visually, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Visually, it was beautiful. I mean, the colors, the use of the costumes, the use of
production
the
design was amazing. Just production design was great on the movie.
Yeah, it was great. So yes, do we highly recommend it? Hell yes.
But if for those who don't know too much about American history, or in particular Black history in America, you might miss a lot of things that might make sense. So I would say do a little bit of research on Oakland, the Black Panther Party before you go see it, so you'll catch up on
and do it with the nuances. And if you're really serious about doing your research, do it with an open mind, because I know a lot of people have a stigma about the Black Panther Party. It did go south. I'm not going to sit here and try to test it.
The beginning was great.
You can't deny the great things that came out of it. Free school lunches is because of that.
Yeah, I mean the current Black Panther Party is not what it set out to be its mission.
Yeah, it's not.
But like anything, sometimes you run astray from your course. Hopefully they go back to it.
So yeah, that's pretty much where it stands. The other thing, I think who's the one on the notes?
I did the notes. I said
there was something. No, there was something. There was something about
Ava DuVernay.
Yes. Do you want to go to that right now, or do you want to stick to Infinity War?
Let's do that, and then we'll go. Let's do Infinity War and then come back to DC.
Okay. The new trailer came out. Holy crap! I think it's the best way I think I can say.
Got my tickets.
I like what you said through the text when you saw it. It's like it did exactly what it's supposed to do, make everyone be like, wow. But lack of major substance, I guess is the best way to say it. The only plot point that they showed is the fact that they stuck pretty much to the comic book of Thanos wants to destroy half the universe.
Yeah.
You know, which is a comic book based thing. Which I'm surprised they actually went that route, because that sounds so exaggerated.
It's pretty dark.
That's like, wow, they really are doing that.
But they're changing Thanos' background a little bit to make him a little more sympathetic.
What are they saying?
Well, he looks like Homer Simpson. So.
Real.
Instead of
Omar, I am not disagreeing with you.
Instead of him killing his whole planet of Titan, planet of Titan was like somebody did that to the planet.
Oh, they crypt on him basically.
Yeah. So he kind of wants to
exact revenge.
So instead of exact revenge, he has a twisted logic of.
Since I don't know who did it, everybody's at fault.
Kind of bounce. Okay. So I'm bouncing the universe by taking everybody out.
Like, I don't see him going to the whole. He actually gets to destroy the universe. I think something or someone stops him.
But that's the thing. It's not whole. It's half.
I don't even think it gets to half.
And he's like, don't worry, there'll still be humans after I do my thing.
Yeah, I just got.
He literally say that in the trailer.
I just got to do my thing.
Once I do my thing.
You know what I think is gonna be the big plot twist in that one, honestly. Which I'm sure they're not talking about it and they're not revealing it, but I think. This is gonna be it. It's not on 1. It might be on part 2. Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock is Guardians 3.
They stated that already. They should make Warlock appear.
Captain Marvel will be the Adam Warlock of
this one.
Infinity War.
Who do you think is gonna die? Because I have my.
It's on the list.
What's your opinion, Omar? Someone's gonna die.
I don't know. Probably.
Go for it. You done?
Hawkeye, Hulk might die.
No, I don't think Hawkeye's gonna die.
I'm thinking.
Like I can't control himself. He's probably gonna be the first one to charge at Thanos and then fucking get fucked up.
Who's that?
Hulk.
No, I'm pretty sure that's why he lines up, getting knocked into the fucking Sanctum Sanctorum in New York.
That was dope.
If you saw Thor, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it.
All right, whatever.
So Thor Ragnarok, right? Here's the plot.
Right.
He traveled some distance. He kind of got onslaughted.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's I actually understand that.
Yeah, you'll get it. Yeah. Reference Onslaught. Juggernaut from Canada to New York.
He landed in Hoboken.
Oh, yeah.
That's the funny part. He landed in Hoboken, not even New York. He skipped New York.
Unconscious. It's like, what happened? It's like, yo, he's coming. Who? The guy who punched me.
He's like, where were you?
What day
Canada.
was it? That was 3 days ago.
Where were you? Canada.
My picks, it's kind of growing. I don't know if they're going to kill that many people off. Loki, Heimdall, Cap, maybe Gamora to power the Soul Stone. Favorite dog.
I think Cap. I think Cap is out.
So far, those 4, and I think if they do more, some of those deaths will be fixed in the next one. I don't think all of them will be. I think some of them will be dead.
Yeah, I think the one who's going to be permanently dead is going to be Captain America. The only reason why I say that.
What about the White Wolf?
Nah, you're on that one, bro. I have no comment on that one.
If he's the White Wolf, then he's definitely probably.
Well, did you see the end of Black Panther?
Yeah.
She calls him that.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think.
The question is, will it just be a name, or will he really be the White Wolf?
Yeah. The thing with me is, like, in the comic books, like, we know who took the mantle of Captain America. It was either Winter Soldier
or Falcon.
Yeah. And they're both there. You know what I mean? So. You know, they already have a perfect replacement and already set up for it.
One of two, yeah,
exactly.
Depending on
so that's why I think it's a perfect way to go out. And if you look at contract wise, this is Chris Evans' last contract sign.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one he's out of contract now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think Captain America's out.
I don't know.
You know what maybe. I mean? And even on the trailer, Captain America's literally holding on for dear life, holding on to like Thanos' glove. Thanos is
but if you look at Thanos' face, Thanos has oh shit.
Yeah, he hasn't turned on the gauntlet yet. That's why.
He's like, oh, you're impressive.
That gauntlet. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Literally holding 2 of his fingers.
Yeah, 2 of them.
It's not even full mercy.
It wasn't full mercy, but that's the thing. I think Captain America's out in this one. Effects wise, everything else, I think it did a great job to get people hyped up.
Yeah.
How is it gonna be in the final one? I don't know.
We'll see. Because they shot them back to back. So if you don't know, the next part will be coming out next year.
My only thing is I hope it, and it looks like from what I see, it looks like it might be like a Transformers Last Night kind of a thing where it's just a bunch of shit blowing up, everybody dying, and there's no story. And at which point I'm like, I could have fucking watched UFC for this shit.
I didn't see the Last Night. I think the thing is, I think it's like that because
don't watch it.
No.
Last Night was that bad, honestly, because I really did not want to see it.
I watched the first night.
Like this, they've watched others like this was definitely the worst.
That's Jumping the Shark. That was
even the one before with like Marky Mark was still better than this. And that one was really horrible.
I didn't mind that one. That was all right. But again, didn't pay for it in theater. So
there you go.
I'll wait till it came on. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, so a lot of people probably don't know this going in, but you probably, if at all, you're probably not gonna see all the Avengers together. So maybe the end. If like not, you might still see it have to wait till the next movie. Yeah. So basically, it's gonna be like these group of people over here, these group of people over here, these group of people over here. Yeah, because some of these groups link up and go to Wakanda, but people are still fractured.
Yeah, because that's what I noticed. I noticed in Wakanda, it looks like
everybody's not there.
No, it looks like Cap, Black Widow, Winter Soldier, War Machine, Hulk, and Iron Man.
No, I don't see Iron Man's not there. Well, Iron Man's not seen.
I don't think Iron Man is seen there, but I think he's there. He's there in the big Hulkbuster.
No, Hulk is in there.
Hulkbuster? Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Because apparently, according to rumors, apparently Hulk is terrified of Thanos.
Okay, this gets better and better. So if that's the case,
everybody's fractured. So
everyone's fractured.
Well, you said stuff is all over the place. People are all over the place. So it's like it's gonna be like.
So then that will probably leave Tony Stark's probably in New York with Spider-Man. And Doctor Strange.
We'll see, because that probably happened. Well, it looks like.
Well, where's the Ant-Man and all this and Wasp? Aren't they in there? They're in the trailer.
Wasp isn't in it. Ant-Man might be in it. I'm not sure.
For the record, overlooked trailer. Ant-Man and Wasp was pretty damn good trailer. I don't know if you saw that.
It was, but the timing of it, because it's so much other stuff going on. But we'll see.
If you haven't seen it, there's an Ant-Man and Wasp trailer, and it looks amazing. So I'm excited about that one too. Yeah, I mean, so wait, Rod, what's this thing you said? You said Thor and Thanos has the most screen time. Where'd you hear that?
I literally watched a video and they said that. I guess I don't know if you saw that they did a lot of Entertainment Tonight. Entertainment Tonight did a bunch of interviews with everybody, and then I guess the Russo brothers.
You know what's the only thing I could think of as why Thor would have that much time?
Why?
Because the Infinity Gauntlet was originally in
Puerto Rico.
Asgard.
Asgard. Thank you.
No. Not really. No.
No, but that's where it was. That's where he took it out from. No.
You see Thor Ragnarok, you'll see why.
Okay. You see.
Oh, he hasn't seen it.
He hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
No, I think he has
I have it on my phone. I watch.
He might have the most runtime because he'll be.
He'll be a dead god by the time this is over.
They'll show him, transition from beginning to whatever happens at the end of Thor Ragnarok. He links up with the Guardians.
Okay. And he has a new hammer now.
He has to make it. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
I heard Peter Dinklage is going to play
the King of the Dwarfs.
Yeah. Is it true? I would love to see him. He's a great actor.
Peter Dinklage is because he's a good actor.
Everybody thought he was going to be all those other things, but they basically Marvel hasn't cracked open their cosmic universe yet. So whoever you thought he could have been, he'll probably be the King of the Dwarfs. The dwarves are also the people who made the actual gauntlet.
Oh, so it's their fault.
So maybe, they made the gauntlet.
Maybe they're the ones who destroy it.
They had nothing to do with the Infinity War. Right. Infinity Stones.
No, we just made the gauntlet.
We made the glove. Fuck you.
That wasn't me.
We were freelancing, bro.
They were like, that was y'all dumbass decided to put the stones together. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I know we're all going to see this one.
I know. Wait for it.
The
trailer is like any other trailer. Did not tell me anything about the story that I wanted to know.
For you, out of curiosity, just talking trailers, what is a trailer that you saw that was like, this is the perfect trailer for me?
I don't know if there's ever been a perfect trailer. Trailers have changed
such standards.
Trailers have changed so much, and they continue to change. I remember when they used to have the voice. Vic, I forgot his last name. He used to be like, in the world, like that man would set the trailer standards, but his voice would get you into it. The trailers actually itself wouldn't, I think there's an art to making trailers, and people aren't going to those artists. They're just giving it to the same editors who are cutting the movie to cut the trailers, and they're just picking and choosing. Like, there's a certain art to be able to tease somebody with the trailer.
When it comes to trailers, do you think plot points is important? Because I think I could give you a perfect example of a trailer that was very good until they gave away a critical plot point. Terminator Salvation, right? If you remember the trailer, that's the one where they showed. You've seen Terminator Salvation, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, I didn't have a problem with it.
I like that.
Yeah, I liked it. The problem that I had with this was in the trailer, they revealed that Sam Worthington was a Terminator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you see his face.
Yeah, but they revealed that.
He's like, good you see his face.
No, but
his face is like half Terminator, like the eye sticking out.
Right. Well, but the fact that they revealed that was the problem that I had with it.
Yeah, it was like
You know what I mean?
I mean,
like stuff like that. I'm like, but then again, there's Dark Knight trailer, the second one, where they reveal the Joker and they just show enough of what the hell's going on and Batman's chasing him with no major plot points, but still makes you want to see it.
Look, there's two movies that have come out, or one has come out. The other one's right now in doing the film festival circuit. It's by Jason. What's the guy from The Office? Krasinski? Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. Yeah.
If you see the 2 trailers to that movie,
I love it.
I saw one. I didn't see.
Dude, they tell you about the environment.
Yes.
They tell you about the situation the characters find themselves.
Yes.
And that something's after them.
And
then you have to go see what it is. That's how a trailer should be cut.
Matter of fact, you mentioning that. Let me tell you how good of a
trailer that was. And there's another trailer. You can. Mm-hmm. It's a movie almost in the same thing. It's with Josh Brolin.
Okay.
About him being in the woods and helping find people, and then something's going on. And these people are getting killed by these outsiders, and you can't leave your house outside at night.
Never seen that one.
It came out this year.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the movie. Those 2 trailers.
Talking about how good of a trailer Quiet Place is. Okay. When it came out about a month ago, maybe a month to 6 weeks ago. When it came out, I was like, "Holy crap!"
That's gonna be a good one.
I gotta show this to Sylvia, my wife. I have to show it to her. Dude, for the past 6 weeks, she's been busy, I've been busy, but every night I'm like, "Yo, babe, you need to see this trailer."
Yeah.
Right? By coincidence, you mentioned, of all movies, that one. She finally saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, she saw it, she was like, "Oh my God." It really was that. She was like, I can't even imagine. I'm like, I know. You haven't seen it, right, Ron?
I saw one of them. I didn't see the second one.
It's so good. And it tells you enough to want to watch the movie.
Yeah, it basically tells you, like, this is how the world is. Somebody makes a noise, it hits the fan. That's really the nutshell version of that trailer.
Simple, to the point, and it makes you want to actually see the movie.
It makes me want to see it. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Sound is that.
You gotta see the second one. The second one, they just add an extra one that I was like, remember the ending of the second one where you're like, in the bathtub?
The bathtub, yeah. Dude, it's a great.
It was great.
I'm proud of him. He wrote it. He starred in it, and he directed. Yeah.
Really?
His wife, Emily Blunt, she loved the script and she jumped onto it. Yeah. No, people don't know that he's married to Emily Blunt. She's a great actress, by the way. She read the script. She's like, "Oh, I want to be part of this film." So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Check out the trailer. It's actually pretty damn good. That was a weird left field thing we just went through.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this trailer is like every other trailer it's a Marvel. They're superheroes. They're going to come together. They're going to save the world. Bunch of shit blows up. Bam.
Now,
all right.
Mentioning, that's...
And now that I'm seeing there's a deviation between the standard popcorn Marvel movie and like the Logans and Black Panther ones where the story is what drives the force of the superheroes. You're like, now if you can do that, why don't you do that to all the movies?
You know what, you mentioning
and then
that.
You're like, okay.
You mentioning that. I do kind of want to bring that one part up. I know you've noticed it. I personally have noticed this. Have you noticed that Marvel movies have been getting less and less dark and more comedic over the years?
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
So it's a Disney thing.
Wait till you see Thor Ragnarok.
That is pretty dark, though.
For the record,
it's dark.
For the record, I saw the first 20 minutes. I saw the part up to Matt Damon.
Oh, you said you haven't used it.
Yeah, I saw the part up to Matt Damon being the actor. Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. Because I ducked.
Did you see the other one after?
No.
So it's literally like a few... Like,
okay, I ducked. I literally ducked all. I know nothing of it.
Okay.
I'm really proud of myself that I've gone this long without really knowing.
Yeah, but who's really?
Yeah, I know. But that's something I'm personally proud of.
You know but I got you. No, it's hard to do.
Yeah, it really.
It definitely is. It goes in a dark route.
So I've gotten that far. So I definitely see what you're talking about when it comes to like the comedy, and it's like.
Oh, it's dark, but it's like.
I've heard one critique. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but I heard somebody say that Marvel movies are starting to come to the point where there's really nothing more than a big budget TV episode.
Well, they're 22 movies in, so.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you hear AMC Theaters is going to have a 31-hour run of the entire MCU the day before Infinity War?
Dude, here's what happens. Once this MCU universe is completely done, because whether Thanos or whatever happens, and everything gets rebooted, dude, that DVD set or Blu-ray is going to be ridiculous.
Insane.
Yo, think about that shit. That's going to be crazy.
If there's ever a box set that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to have to put money up.
Yo.
When they finally wrap it up.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be one of them, like 30-something Blu-rays or behind the scenes.
At least.
Dude.
Imagine the amount of behind-the-scenes videos
that box is
they knew.
Fucking
they
big,
knew they were doing
bro.
something epic. So there's tons of video behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that first MCU, the first version.
Yeah, the first phase. Was it the phase? No,
phase 1, phase all that.
There's 3 phases right now.
They're gonna put all those phases together. That's gonna be a collector's edition right there. That's gonna be a couple grand. I guarantee you.
Now talking about going to DC for a second, because I know Rod put it up, and I'm interested in the director more than I am in the title. DC hired Ava DuVernay for New Gods.
Yep.
Rod, what you heard about that?
What you heard, Rod?
She's not writing. She's directing.
She's only directing.
Funny enough, her 2 fun facts actually. Her favorite character is Big Barda. Like
really?
Yeah.
Okay, did not expect that.
And also she was originally tapped to direct Black Panther.
She said no, or what happened?
She was like
scheduling conflict.
No, she was like
she was doing a Wrinkle in Time at the time.
No. This was before that. She said a black man probably should be directing this.
Hey.
Yeah, because the Wrinkle in Time was more her taste because it had more like female lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah, but New Gods is interesting because it sets up Darkseid, it sets up Orion.
But despite all that, it's space Shakespeare.
It really is. It really is.
It's like, yo, yeah, and your worst enemy is raising your son, and I'm raising his son. This shit is wild.
So that Game of Thrones.
Yeah. You know what?
It's all Shakespeare.
But if there's anybody that could direct that and actually do,
because the visuals of the light and dark of
Apocalypse and
New Genesis and Apocalypse are like night and day.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen like drawings?
They showed them on.
Have you ever seen the drawings of New Genesis and Apocalypse?
I've seen the drawings. Yeah.
Have you seen like Justice League Unlimited and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've touched on that. So you've seen it.
It's really night and day. It's really night and day.
How's her? Because she just A Wrinkle in Time just came out, right? Any reviews? I haven't heard anything on it.
A Wrinkle in Time, I heard it was okay.
I didn't hear that many
I heard it was just
great reviews about it, but they did say.
I heard visually it was crazy. The storyline was okay.
And there were a couple people worked on the film.
They said based on the story, the book that was the source from, they said the movie is unadaptable before she came along.
Have you ever read the book? Because I read the book.
I haven't read it.
You ever read the book?
Hey, well, there was a book until right now.
It's unadaptable, bro.
Okay.
Why? Because it's A Wrinkle in Time?
It jumps all over the place.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't know, because Cloud Atlas jumps all over the motherfucking place.
And even then, there's a. I haven't.
That's not a good example.
Yeah. like.
I love that movie, but I had to watch it twice.
You're the first. You're the only person who said that.
I love that movie. That was a great movie. That was a phenomenal movie. Except you had to watch it twice in order to actually get it.
The thing about Cloud,
you can't.
This is a tough one.
Okay. You can't be Cloud Atlas because of the way it jumps around so much and how it connects the characters visually.
Right.
You have to literally 100% be engaged to every second on the screen. You can't look away.
You can't get drowsy.
You can't get drowsy. You can't look away.
Yeah. I think the book is unadaptable to the effect of there's a lot of twists. I'm trying not to mess it up for people. There's a lot of twists in the book that to add them all in and still make the book make sense makes it really tough. Especially concising everything into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
That's the problem that specifically
most books have that problem.
I mean, another great example of which honestly I think they did a great job was when Zack Snyder actually did Watchmen. I think that was a great version of shortening down that book because that one was really it was really dark.
I'm upset they haven't made another one since.
They're supposed to be making an HBO series.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind the series, but you know what? But that's the point about Wrinkle in Time. They could only work with what they had.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, Ava DuVernay, she also did Selma. Am I thinking the right person?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you saw Selma, it was amazing. Like visually.
I missed it.
It was good.
I know. It's on Hulu. I need to sit down and watch it one day.
It's good. I mean, this is the thing. If Ava DuVernay.
Oh, she did the 13th on Netflix.
That was a great
You haven't seen that?
movie.
I haven't seen that one yet.
That is a great movie.
Is that an hour and a half? Is that the hour and a half one?
It's a little bit longer. It's like a documentary kind of.
Is it like 145?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like not.
It's good though. You don't even notice.
You won't need to worry about time watching that. Okay. You're just gonna
get sucked in and you're like, holy shit, man.
Okay.
They did an amazing job on that research.
But that's the thing. Ava DuVernay, given the right budget, the right time, and the right cinematographer, her visuals is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why honestly, New Gods, the only concern I have is who's the writer.
Who's writing? Yeah. That's my concern too.
I'm not worried about
it's fucking DC.
Yeah. I'm not
so
worried
unless
about the director.
I hope she has like a Patty Jenkins clause. Like, don't come in here and fuck my shit. I'm talking to you, fucking Kevin Tsuchihara, you piece of shit.
Damn.
Why? Because he's Asian?
No, because he's been fucking up the DCEU since fucking after Man of Steel.
Nah, it's true. Let him get it off his chest. Tell me how you feel about the dude. I don't care.
Nah, I
get shit off my chest all the time on the show.
Whether you love it or hate it, a lot of the reactionary changes have been because of him. Yeah. Him stepping down from his high horse, coming down and micromanaging directors. What was that? One of the movies he had edited by trailer company, some stupid, a lot of just dumb shit. 2-hour runtime mandates, doing Snyder dirty, like not because of Snyder. I just did a person dirty for no reason.
Pretty much.
Whatever you feel, y'all gonna make money off the castings he done. You know, the universe he built, whether y'all change it, alter it, he still gave y'all the platform.
Exactly.
Boom.
And then y'all like fired him, and then like aborted his movie.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think personally, like I said, I mean, I'm excited for the director. I'm not excited for the writer. I'm excited for the characters and the fact that they're actually making a story based on that.
Yeah.
Because if there's ever a DC story that needs to be told without any of the big name superheroes.
Yeah, like don't do a Justice League versus. Yeah. That's why it's like it's good that they do this. Let's see New Gods first, so we kind of hopefully they can do some Steppenwolf explanation, because I know you guys didn't see it yet, but all they had. Zach provided an explanation
on Justice League
of Steppenwolf of why he's there. Is black backstory rather than him just being like.
But they concentrate on the mustache more.
They cut it out. It's not there. It's not even in the Blu-ray. Like
maybe they'll do a limited edition where like they'll show the actual what the movie was supposed to be.
So whenever Kevin Tsuchihara leaves, they might. Apparently he
ain't never leaving, bro.
Apparently he hates Zack Snyder or whatever. But whenever he leaves, they might drop the Snyder cut.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's hope it does. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? We have one more.
Well, here, I got 2 recommends. If you're going to be Netflixing and chilling with your significant other or your side chick or whatever, or side dude, whatever you guys do.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that.
I saw it all, yeah, that's fine.
Did you see the whole thing yet?
I watched it.
Wait, which
watched
thing?
it 2 days. But go.
Oh, so the first recommend is The Outsiders. Takes place in 1954 Japan, starring Jared Leto.
You saw it?
Dude.
Really?
Really good.
So much good shit on Netflix.
Really good. I was surprised that it was going to be so good.
Okay.
I was surprised it was going to be so good. The ending is...
Is it more crime drama?
It's more crime drama. It's almost like, think of Godfather, but except the Yakuza.
Okay, cool.
Dude.
That's what it looked like to me. And I was wondering if they were going to do a good job.
Tough. It is a good movie.
Okay.
Cinematography is on point. I love it. Yeah.
Good. Now, thank you. You got me excited on that.
Now, on the flip side, there's another movie. It's called A Perfect Day. It stars Benicio del Toro and my boy. His name escapes. He was Tim Robbins.
Ooh.
It takes place in 1992, 93, post-Bosnia conflict in that region in the Balkans, where they are aid workers working with the UN, and how one day just turns to shit, and the kind of how it resolves itself, and they are at the decision where do they go home or do they continue doing the aid work in a country where whatever they do, it's still not good enough because shit's so corrupt.
Has there ever been a movie that Benicio del Toro was in that was bad? I'm really trying to think of that right now.
Probably no.
I'm thinking Wolfman as probably the worst one that he did, but
it didn't come out. It didn't come out.
The Wolfman?
The old one with what's the actor?
That was supposed to be part of the Dark Universe.
No. Wolfman, where he's like a werewolf. And who's in it? What's that actor's name?
I'm trying to remember.
He's in there, and
that was bad.
It wasn't good.
I think it's his worst performance. I guess it's the best way to say.
I mean, the overall movie wasn't that enjusable.
Right.
It wasn't because of the actor. It just
wasn't because of him. It was the story. All right.
Story,
right.
Yeah,
so that still constitutes that him. You said bad performance, so that's not. Yeah.
There's a little all-star cast in there. It's really good. It's kind of like a day in the life of these guys, and it's really enjoyable. You know, it's a good movie. Overall, those are my 2 recommends.
Perfect Day, not Wolfman. Just make sure.
Yeah, Perfect Day, not Wolfman.
I'm actually checking who was the other actor.
Yeah. So.
Anthony Hopkins?
Yes, Anthony Hopkins.
Hugo Weaving's in it too.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins. That's what I forgot.
Oh wow.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt was in it too.
So Jessica Jones season 2.
Oh yeah, what is? How's that going?
I only saw the first 2 episodes.
I went through the whole thing,
and
it's good. It's good.
And it's not good.
No, yeah, he's trying to.
Right.
He's trying to.
No.
He's trying to find the words.
I'm trying to lay it out because, all right, you want a good villain like last season, you're not gonna get it.
Last season wasn't even a good villain either.
What Kilgrave was awesome. Don't be.
It was okay. Towards the end, I was like, all right, dude.
He had to go. I know what you mean because it was like I think it was too much of him.
Yeah.
Like after a while, just like
I could argue that. Okay.
But
okay, I agree with that.
it's an interesting twist. So when you watch it, you'll see who the villain is.
Luke Cage?
No, that was season 1. They did an amazing job storyline wise, as far as moving everybody's story. When I say everybody. So Malcolm, you see Malcolm's storyline move. You see Trisha's storyline move. You see the lawyer's storyline move.
Okay.
Jessica even moves a little bit. Like, she gets, so I'll give them that. They did a good job in regards to scaling it back to being this noir
show
kind of detective, like she does some narration and shit in certain parts of it.
Okay.
So it's good, but a lot of people still not gonna like Jessica Jones. So I'm not trying to convince people to say, oh, it's good, you should watch it now. But it's good.
Okay.
It's still good.
I just saw something really weird.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. I think
Carlos, you any recommendations on the flicks
on Netflix
or Hulu or the?
Hold up. There's something on my list that make me think.
Oh, and then the latest episode of Flash was terrible. I don't know what the fuck were y'all doing in that one. Jesus Christ.
Nope. I'm actually good.
Flash, yeah, it's bad. Black Lightning is still running strong. Like ding.
Oh, you like that?
Yep.
No, I don't have anything good right now. Sorry.
All right. Well,
fellas, I think I am wrapped.
Yeah, we're done.
Get the hell on out of here. Thank you so much for tuning into the Tech Guy, Some Guy podcast. I'm Carlos. This is
Rod.
And
Omar.
I guess we'll talk to you guys next week. See y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.